Setbacks insurance app now. Do your thing. Get back chain.
Back in 2005, John Obi Mikel won the silver ball at the FIFA World Youth Championships, beaten to the golden ball by the one and only Lionel Messi. But the Nigerian has gone on to forge his own legacy. A decade with Chelsea, highlighted by 2 league titles, a Champions League and 4 FA Cups. Now earning the big bucks in China, the powerful midfielder can crown his mighty career by captaining Nigeria to its best ever World Cup finish. In his World Cup debut in 2014, he was named man of the match and was the star as the Super Eagles won their way to the round of 16. Their chances of going further in Russia rest with John Obi Mikel.
I was so busy having a great conversation with all of our guests on the show, I forgot to tell you what the topic to discuss is on social media. Here it is. This is what we want to hear from you. Get through to us on @Sport10TV on Twitter as well as on Facebook, and just, get your questions in. I'll have a whole segment dedicated to your questions. What would you like to ask the #1 test bowler in the world, Kagiso Rabada? Send your questions through to @Sport10TV on Facebook as well as on Twitter. Catch us on YouTube where we're live streaming the show. And you can also send them to myself as well, @Thomas Mlambo. That's what we want to know. KG, Kagiso Rabada, your questions for him. I'll ask them right here on Sport at 10. But now, Highlands Park, what a season it has been. Just a week and a half ago, 5-1 victory against Tuks. That's what secured Highlands Park the opportunity to be back in the ABSA Premiership, out of the NFD. But how it was done is more special than the fact that they did do it. It has been almost flawless since Owen Da Gama and assistant coach Victor Nhlapo and the rest of that team took over. Gentlemen, welcome to Sport at 10. How are you?
Good evening, Tommy. Thank you very much for having us.
No, we've heard a lot from Owen, so I'm going to just relax him for the coach just for a second, Victor. Yes, because what does it feel like for you to be part of a team that has been so successful and working with Owen Da Gama?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing thing when Thomas, because as a young boy you always have a dream. Because if you look at a boy, the best of a boy is a soccer ball. And you had that dream being a young boy. And I also watched Coach Owen while I was a young boy, him playing there, scoring goals, and I was a supporter, and suddenly I'm the colleague, he's my head coach, and we're killing teams. I think it's an amazing thing.
Easy.
Yeah.
But we're killing teams.
Yes. Yeah, we work hard, Thomas. People, they can say Highlands Park quarter 4, quarter 5, but they don't know. If you come to training, we sometimes spend some hours there training. We don't leave that place there. And the results are showing, Thomas.
How good is he?
Who?
The man sitting next to you.
Hey, if I can define him, I can't finish, Thomas.
No, give us the short brief, man. How much shortly? Just on my highlights I call.
To me, he's an angel, because anything that he talks about football is there in football, and I think people, they've never seen so much, and then he's still going to show the world what he has with him. You'll see, Thomas, the result will speak for itself.
Well, they are speaking for themselves. Coach Owen Da Gama, your assistant, has said you're an angel. I mean, I had different visions of angels, but you could also pass for an angel, I guess. Angel of football, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's all the experience that I've built up over the years, Tommy, and I was a player as well. And, once you work with people and you make people, it's not what you give people and how you pay people. The most important thing, Tommy, is how you make people feel. That's what they remember forever.
How does he make you feel?
I feel at home, I feel at home.
And that's how the whole squad feels? From assistant coach all the way down to the driver?
The lot of us, we can't wait to go to training tomorrow, because there's love there, training. We love one another, we support one another. That thing that we have at Highlands Park, even if you can come to our change room, you can't believe it. It's an amazing thing.
Coach, though, when you took over at Highlands Park, a lot of people said the coach is taking a big downgrade. He's going from Bafana Bafana to the NFD. Huge downgrade, coach. You know, is this the end of the rubber doll? Yeah, is this the end of Coach Owen Da Gama?
Yeah. Look, Tommy, sometimes in life you have to take a step backwards in order to take two forward. And when I was approached by Highlands Park, I had been approached by 2 other Premier League teams. But when I looked at the history of those teams and how they treat coaches, and Highlands Park came on board, I've known Larry for more than 15 years. I know Brad Keftel. I know Sinki Manisi all these years. I said to myself, these are people that believe in me. These are people that trust me. And these are people that will support me 200%. And that's exactly the reason why
But listening to those comments, though, it must have been a difficult time for you. You know, your Bafana contract still had a long way to go. You actually, if you'd lived out your Bafana contract, you should still be with the Bafana team. Your contract was till in September this year. So there was that upheaval. And then suddenly you're at Highlands Park. How did that actually feel inside?
Look, initially it was very sad the way, whatever preempted my departure was. It was very sad for me.
New coach comes.
Yeah.
Owen Da Gama has to go.
Yeah, and I see it for the first time in the streets, on billboards, that Owen Da Gama is out and all this. But Tommy, what I believe is when one door opens, when one door closes, another door opens. And I'm a godly person. I believe in God. I go to church every Sunday, if possible. And I just put everything in God's hands. And everything just panned out 100%.
Now, Owen Da Gama did not begin the season with Highlands Park, right? There were, 5 games, before you were brought to the club. Uyavuma, Vic?
Yes, sir.
5 games.
Yeah.
So, since he took over after 5 games, how many times have you lost in the NFD?
None.
No man, Pinda.
Aska lose.
Since 5 games. We're on game number 27 already.
Yeah, I see. It's like 21 or 22 games without a lose.
Since
I feel
it tastes yokudliwa uyaz. At all?
No.
Undefeated in 22 games, coach.
That's correct, Tommy. And the credit must go to the players first. Yes. You know, I think they're the guys who go on that field and do the business.
The previous coaching staff in those 5 games, had they lost or?
They'd won the first 2 games, and then they lost 3 games in a row when we took
So
over.
those 3 games, when I look at the log table and I see 3 losses, that was before you guys were there.
That's before we arrived.
When you came in, losses were banished, losing must fall, it never happened again.
And we had to play the next game. It's like a car moving that you've got to fix that car while it's moving. But I must, Tommy, I must take this opportunity to thank one of the greatest colleagues that I've worked with. Apart from Coach Vic, he's done a tremendous contribution, Ellen Fries, but Simone Conley has turned the team around.
The physical trainer.
From a physical perspective. Tommy, when we arrived, the first thing we did, we took all the players to the High Performance Center in Pretoria to be tested. That's what she wanted. And all the players all of them failed. All the tests, agility, speed,
There's
power,
Simone
everything.
doing her thing. We just saw a glimpse of her,
So she must get a lot of credit. Although what we like, what's good about Highlands Park, Tommy, is that it's about the collective. It's not Owen Da Gama. It's the collective all the time.
Now, you've had this unbelievable season. You're on the verge of breaking records. 22 games undefeated. You can relax now, Coach. I mean, the job is done. 3 games to go. You can play the B team for the remaining games.
Yeah, as the coach alluded, Guti, we are a collective, and then when we're sitting there planning for the future, we want to set and break records, and records are made to be broken. We want to make records.
So I'm not relaxing.
I'm not relaxing. We want to shoot basically another level. Now, coach will change the tone. We're going to another plane now.
Coach, what is that record that you want to beat in the NFD?
Well, to have the most unbeaten runs, to score the most goals, to have the biggest goal difference ever, to concede the least goals ever. We've already broken a couple of those records, but it's about finishing on a high. There's no way you can tell you can take the foot off the pedal. Once you start creating such situations, it becomes habitual. So we make sure that we keep that foot on the pedal, and they must understand that winning should become a habit.
Highlands Park. Victor Nhlapo, assistant coach. Owen Dagama, head coach. Congratulations on your promotion to the Premier Division of Soccer. The ABSA Premiership welcomes Highlands Park back, and we can't wait to see if you can bring that record-breaking performance to the next level up. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going to a break. After the break, remember, keep sending your questions through to @Sport10 TV on Twitter. Kagiso Rabada, the #1 test bowler in the world, will tell us about the back injury, the series against Australia, just everything we want to know. We're going to talk to him after this.
You can suffer from